Want to manage your own medieval tavern? Well, you can. The question is Tavern Master a management game worth your $15? Would you rather spend that $15 on an undersized Chipotle burrito or pump 40 hours into serving your local king and queen? In short, maybe. Let's talk about it. Game's description. Tavern Master is all about managing your medieval tavern. You start with a very small room, a couple of benches and tables. You build your way up to a huge, successful tavern with a kitchen, rooms for guests, group of loyal staff, and much, much more. Developed by Untitled Studio, published by WhisperGames. Tavern Master is a management game where you build, decorate, cook, serve, host patrons in a medieval tavern. You begin with 4 walls in a dream. Time goes on, you can add additional floors, decorations, staff, hotel rooms, events, hire mercenaries, and even defend your tavern from thieves. If you don't like management games, you will not like this game. If you want combat in your games, you will not find it here. Tavern Master is a well-executed indie title, offloads tons of content in the first half, and descends into a little bit of monotony toward the end, but we'll get into that. Let's talk about the art style. The graphics will allow virtually any system to run this game. The character models are low poly, I imagine, so the sheer number of patrons don't crash the game when you can go through a day cycle. You can adjust pricing in your tavern to increase the number of patrons that visit. You can't exceed 600, 700 plus. I wasn't upset by the graphics or art style by any means. There was a lot going on, and you can add more or less unlimited decorations. Everything looks charming, and you can tell the devs took their time. Let's talk about the combat. There isn't any. The only conflict that you might run into is the RNG triggers thieves to break into your tavern at night sometimes, but you can hire guards pretty early on to prevent that from happening. Let's talk about the core mechanics. Tavern Master is broken up into a day and night cycle. You have a short period of time to prepare for your tavern, open daily, rush of patrons, and then closing. Now you can pause and fast forward through your days. I found myself doing a lot toward the end of the tech tree, fast forwarding that is, and it's a big tech tree. Night cycle is when you close down the tavern, clean up, adjust pricing, refill your kegs, etc. Nighttime is also when the thieves will attack, but you'll do the vast majority of the designing and decorating during the night cycle when you're closed and the game is paused. Basically, you design, decorate, and hit the start day button. See if what you built and what you designed is effective. If not, tear down at night, try again. The goal being to advance in the tech tree and make as much coin as possible. Throughout the tech tree, you're going to unlock additional decorations. You'll unlock eventually outdoor activities as well. There's a little outdoor area. You'll use the coin to hire additional staff throughout the game. You'll add kitchens, hotel rooms even to expand the business. Played a lot of management games, and this one is a great one for beginners if you're just looking to break into the genre. For more advanced players, if you're playing like big city builders and things like that, may not find what you're looking for here, but it is extremely charming. Let's talk about the audio. To be frank, I played this game on mute a lot toward the end. In the beginning, I left everything on, the music, the sound of the patrons. It does a nice job of having the sound of sounding like a live tavern or pub. Not because the audio was bad by any means. It just didn't add a whole lot for me. And this is one of those games where I spent playing on mute because I would be doing something else. Or a movie or a show. The music, in my opinion, was meant to be background noise and set for immersion purposes. Let's talk about the story. There isn't one. Let's talk about the content. Unlike story, there is tons of content. Tavern Master hosts an array of options to build out your tavern. There's even an end game in some ways. When you complete the tech tree, you can unlock an additional winter map, which adds extra mechanics like heat. So you have to put fires in every room. You have to keep people warm. You have to provide heat and light in all the rooms to make your patrons happy. There are a number of happy extras in the game, such as a mercenary table where you'll have to hire mercenaries to go on missions to find exotic ingredients for your kitchens. Often the tavern will catch on fire. Maybe not yours, but mine caught on fire all the time. You had to provide sufficient fire extinguisher options throughout, which is just a bucket of water. There is a takeout window. You can hire waiters, cooks, guards, bartenders, all of which you have to manage their happiness level. You have to manage their raises. You can also level up the staff in sort of an RPG way. They might carry more drinks, like the waitresses might carry more drinks every time they collect from the bartender. The bartender can pour faster. The waiters and the waitresses can move faster going up and down stairs. You can also manage the prices of your drinks and your food to increase the amount of patrons. So you can send the prices way up. You'll have less patrons, but everything's more expensive. But it also is more manageable. So if you have a smaller staff, especially at the beginning, you don't want too many patrons. Otherwise, people are going to leave unhappy. There's also a holiday calendar, which you can host events, such as hosting the kings and queens. You can have a big party with just the knights. The knights from the local castle come through and get rowdy. And there's an outdoor area, set up yard games and outdoor tables. So, talked about at the top of the video, the Tavern Master offloads much of the content in the first half of the game. And by game, really, I mean the tech tree. Once you've added every decoration, hired every staff member, built every floor. You can add additional floors. I may have forgotten to mention that. 4 stories in a basement, I believe. There's not much after that once you've fully decked everything out. Now, that takes a long time. I think I have like 60 hours by the time I 100%ed it. So it's not a short title by any means, but once I was fully set up and I liked everything the way that I liked, it was really just cranking through the days to try to get through the tech tree. And in order to advance through the tech tree, you do have to continually add decorations to increase your renown. The more renown, the further through the tech tree you can advance. If I was to provide criticism, like true criticism, I'd have had smaller or shorter tech tree to work through, or save some of that end tech tree and moved it to the winter map. So I saw, you know, a much larger amount of things I could unlock in the winter map, have it go over to that one. So I'd be like, okay, now I'm going to add that mechanic of heat and an additional 15 pieces or whatever for the tech tree. So 15 bucks. Will you get your time's worth? 100%. I 100% of the game. It took about 60 hours. I would have paid $15 for about 40 hours. Probably get away with 30 hours of gameplay for 15 bucks, especially for a game like this. But if you don't like management games, cartoony feel, or design tasks, you're not going to like this title. Or I would even go as far as to say you play advanced management games, city builders, and you're looking for a challenge. This is not going to match the challenges of those titles. 15 bucks is an extremely fair price. There's a lot to do, a lot of pieces to add to your tavern. This is not a game forever. The developer is working on a new game titled Blacksmith Master, slated to come out in 2024, with the focus being, you guessed it, Blacksmith. They do have an active Discord where they take suggestions in real time and talk about the changes to be made to the game. So it's a small enough community where you could get in there, really had some suggestions. The devs are right in there. They literally have like a suggestion box type channel. You can drop what you think and they'll fix stuff in real time. So I think that's awesome. If you're new to the genre and you don't want to be overwhelmed right away, or even if you're a fan of the genre and you want something a little bit simpler, this is a great place to start. If you're old to the genre, but you've done a lot more challenging stuff and you're looking for a bit of an easier title, this is a perfect one to do that. If you're a hardcore management, city builder type player, this is probably not going to be the title for you. I think you're going to get bored. But if you like design games of any kind, very simple, very easy to use. I didn't have any crashes, lots of stuff to add to it. For me, it got a little repetitive at the end. 15 bucks, there's a lot of value in this title. And they're coming out with a new title, 2024, which I'm going to get. As always, team, this is Ghost Stories Gaming. You can find me on all things social at Ghost Stories Gaming or Ghost Plays Games. I will catch you guys on the next review.